Viewer discretion is advised.
I randomly heard weird noises, and they're not the voices in my head. I swear they're not the voices in my head. Maybe they are the voices in my head. I don't know what the boys are saying. I feel like they're talking shit, but I don't really know that I care. But happy Saturday. You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 263. We are in patch 8.3. We are knee deep in the visions. Not to be confused with... I lost it. It was there. Yeah, that's definitely not what's happening here on... This is a quality production. I don't know what they're going on about. Tonight, we're going to be talking about one major subject with a lot of little subjects, but the major subject we're going to be talking about is what do we do when we have to learn to live in a world where method is not world first for a major tier. Though, I got to be really honest, like, for me personally, I probably need a little bit of therapy. Outside of world first, I'm sure that applies as well. But loss is good. But we do have some things that I want to talk about regarding this race that I think are good discussions, and we need to talk about what this means and what this has kind of done and the shape that this has taken, especially given that Method was not the first streaming, and we weren't the first last year either, but we weren't the only, I should say. And also, I just want to disclaim, expect Bell bad-mouthing regarding some super fucking cringe Twitter posts that, like, I was throwing a little bit of shade, trying to walk the line and behave myself, but guys, I have nothing left to fucking lose, so we are going to dive into those things. We do have a lot to talk about because we have been away, because I was not in America. So grab your coffee. I have mine thanks to the ginger. And yeah, we have a lot to talk about. So make sure you guys stay right here.
In 2014, a crack commando unit was banned from trade chat for comments they didn't make. These men and women promptly escaped from the Stormwind stockades to the Iron Forge underground. Today, still hunted by the trolls of trade chat, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, then maybe you can hire the Pwnecast. Leader and brains of the operation, it's Bell.
I want tacos so bad.
Betrayer of the priestly order and huntard extraordinaire, it's Remedies. With the Pwnecast team assembled, let the battle for Azeroth begin.
Guys, we're back. We're back. Guys.
And like I was saying, Drew, like you just can't walk around naked. It's not cool.
Guys, we're back.
Sometimes it's just too hot, man.
It's just too hot. How many cooks are in the kitchen?
Too many. There's always too many.
So, guys, it turns out that it is my headset. I had to swap to the good old standbys. Something in my headset is not. That just.
I had to fix it.
That looks stupid.
It's the fucking camera, man. I
You have to fix this every time you log into Zoom.
So I apologize. My headset worked just fine last time, but for some reason, my headset does not like XSplit. So I don't know. I'll have to work that out later. But we have a show. I will have to. Oh, fucking hold on, guys. This is not our best. So this sucker's been unplugged. So yeah, this is what jet lag looks like. Everything is going wrong. Guys, we have a show. Everything is going wrong. It's okay because we're here and we're here together. And we are all together with love. And stuff? Is that a thing? Is there stuff involved in love? What's love got to do with it? Well, I'm going to have to adjust this for uploading later because it's kind of a little bit kerfucked. But welcome back, and thank you for waiting in our lobby, our Pwnecast lobby. My name is Belle. If you are new to Pwnecast, I apologize. But I don't really apologize. I just say that I apologize because I am legally required to say that. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring our mediocre tryhard remedies. And I did bring the NASA tank brewiest extraordinaire. Is that even a thing? I feel like NASA should, like, just recognize. Wow, we're going hard. Welcome, Brew. This is Brew's second episode. He probably wants to punch himself. Or me, right? So, the interest of full disclosure, I seem to still be suffering from, what did you say it is, Rem? Jet lag, apparently. Apparently, jet lag is a thing, and I am suffering from it. I did barely get back. Day before yesterday, I spent 9 days in London, Cardiff, Germany, all those fun places. And I was, they do actually, a lot of them, but I am exhausted. I went hard, and thanks for the follow, Jed. I did some work, but mostly touristy things. So, I was I'm the, like, super American walking down the streets of London with, like, my Buckingham Palace shopping bag because I went and bought, like, I spent, like, 200 pounds on tea stuff and then, like, another 200 pounds on frickin' Buckingham Palace stuff because this is... Listen, Germany and I don't agree. You would think that it would be my cup of tea, like, because, you know, a bunch of grumpy people who don't speak my language seems like the perfect place for me, right? Because then I don't have to really interact. But it isn't fun being in a place where I don't understand the language. And Google has this neat translator app, and it will listen, and it will translate for you, which is really super nice. But I have a problem with not having the ability to be situationally aware, and I can't when I don't understand the native tongue, so I don't know, like, what people are saying and, like, what's going on. It does. That's how I was able to get around and figure out which fucking train I needed to be on. But the good news is we're back, and we have World of Warcraft stuff to talk about. We will talk about the random life things of our lives as we go. Guys, I'm not going to be super smart this episode just because I am really tired, but we're going to make it happen. So let's get right into the weekly reset for Tuesday, February 18th. The bonus event is going to be the Time Walking Dungeons, and that's going to be for Burning Crusade. So go get your Time Walking stuff. FYI, the World Quest bonus event is going on now, so if you have not wowed this week, log in, and before you do World Quest, make sure you pick up the quest. I am guilty earlier of doing some World Quests, and I was like, shit, I knew I was forgetting something. Wasn't my best moment. I'm not living my best days of our lives at the moment. Weeks of our lives, yes, not days. The PvP Brawl. So, I say this in the interest of full disclosure. The in-game calendar reflects the Temple of Hotmogu. However, the phone calendar and Wowhead's data mining actually shows the new PvP Brawl, which is Teeming Islands. I gotta say that I kind of am siding a little bit with Wowhead because they have the secret code. to tap into all things data, but it could be maybe Blizzard decided it wasn't ready. I'm not 100% sure. So it could be one or the other. If it's Temple of Hot Mogu, still a fun one. Yeah, so if it's Temple, that's good, because that's still a good brawl. It's good fun. It's like basically hot potato. And which is really great. I don't know, Warlocks really do well in Temple in general. In my opinion. I haven't played a whole lot of other classes, but though I do run my Healing Monk in there, and I love taking the orb and doing the 2 Trailer Park Girls go around the outside, and I piss everybody. Oh, is it? Is it in a hotfix? What a bag of dicks. Well, I was going to tell you guys all about Teeming Islands, and now it's for naught. But just know that the Teeming Islands seems promising. I didn't do any of the testing in PTR. But it is essentially PvP island expeditions, only in a brawl. Lots of corrupted uglies, I think, that we have to deal with. And it's 10 versus 10, and the cool thing about this is all the rewards that you would get from doing islands are also available in these brawls, and when you do the brawls, it counts towards your island weekly. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. Sad that they hotfixed it and decided not to do it. Hopefully that means that they found a reason to, so at least they weren't releasing something broken. But Temple's just as fun, so go in there and do your brawls, because it's worth the effort. I didn't see it on the hotfix list, though. I don't know that I looked at the 14th. Maybe I ignored it. It's okay. Well, you know, I like to give bad information on the show, because there's lots of content creators who are giving you good information, and I feel like in order for us to separate ourselves, we've really got to tap into the market, and that market is bad information. Yeah, this is before we move on, I just want to tell you that everything that could go wrong on the way home, every flight I had to go to, I was late because the initial flight was late, and then trying to get out of the country in Germany, because I started in Germany, did London, Cardiff, then went back to Germany to end my trip. I flew out of Munich, and getting out of Munich was worse than trying to get in the country. Like, they don't want to let you out ever. They just want to keep you. What? You're kidding me. Say something? Guys, I am seriously, like, really close to just losing my mind right now. I figured out why. Go ahead and say something.
Something.
Ooh.
Okay, I hear me,
Good.
unfortunately.
Yeah. So, it's because I need to make you guys, it doesn't even matter.
Get my voice back. Yay.
So, just for the record, every time there is an update with Windows, it does shit to other stuff and junk. And what it's decided is it's going to change my stuff and junk and other stuff.
Yeah.
That's the official.
Windows kind of a dick with their updates. That makes sense.
I hate it.
You should just
So,
run everything on Linux. Call it good.
I agree.
is that still a thing?
Yeah.
Let me
If
disable.
I had time, I would run everything on Linux and make WoW work in it, because there are ways to make it work.
I've disabled everything, so we should not have a problem. We did get, we got a subscription. Who subscribed?
Yeah.
Because it didn't come in who was it? Anybody? Somebody was
Aquaze.
Aquaze.
11 months. That is epic.
Aquaz.
You have loved us for 11 months. That is longer than I have I lost it. Anybody want to help me out here? Nobody? Well, let me get a donkey roll.
Donkey roll.
Donkey roll. Let me see that
Can't hear
donkey
it now.
roll.
I'm just gonna groove.
I absolutely, somebody said to me, what the fuck is that you play when people sub? And I'm like, I need you to respect Connor for
Hate
real.
for the hate.
And I need you to watch Popstar, and I need you to love the donkey roll. Oh, I can also say thank you. Hey, this is pretty cool. I'm learning how to use the new stream manager on Twitch.
It's so hot. I love it.
Like Bin Laden. Oh my god.
It's so hot right now.
I'm gonna find a random way next episode to play random like blurbs from Popstar, and more specifically, I feel like I need to put the Bin Laden song somewhere in. I feel like it's relevant. I don't know if I'll get banned. Do you feel like
Probably not,
I
but
feel like we'll get banned? Twitch
questionable taste.
is busy doing other stuff. I'm a girl, so we probably won't get banned. Like but I don't show my rack, so we will probably get banned. I'm gonna need one of you to start showing your goodies.
All
I
over.
need a low cut shirt.
So, to end my trials and tribulations, because I was late to everything, I had to run to all my flights, which means when I get through doing all the passport nonsense and the fucking Rochambeau and all that stuff, so I was sweaty and exhausted because I have a big head and little arms, and it's really difficult for me to run, and I had this giant ass backpack with like, I had 2 laptops, I had my iPad, I had like every charger I own.
I can just imagine you running through the airport going like, fuck.
And I literally, like, the very last flight, I asked my husband to bring a t-shirt to the airport because I was in North Carolina and it was so humid that, like, I was pouring. Like, my whole head was
humidity
soaked.
is the worst.
And my whole, like, I had my peon shirt and it's orange, which means it was no longer orange because it was, like, soaked. So when I get on the plane and I'm thinking, thank God this is like the last flight, the lady next to me, I'm like, I apologize, I probably smell like I Febreze, but I think at this point it's just covering it up and it just smells like Febrezed fucking sweat. Like, I'm sorry. She's like, you're totally fine, dear. If I was her, I would have been like, I need a new seat. But because I ran. Like, when I say running, like, I wasn't like briskly walking. Like, I darted across. North Carolina Airport is pretty big because they have every restaurant imaginable inside the fucking airport. Like 20 different types of restaurants in this airport. In North Carolina, no offense,
That's
you
like
guys are
10 too
extremely
many.
inefficient. Your security check, all of your nonsense is extremely inefficient. But I had to dart from one side of the airport to the other. So if you were traveling and you happened to see me running through the airport like a mad woman, I told my boss I'm not going anywhere for a while, so don't ask. Not. Anyway.
Yeah, just one time we're having run across the airport kind of ruins it. Yeah.
Okay, also, hatching of the hippogriffs. February 23rd. Do the hatching of the hippogriffs. The hippogriffs need our love and attention. And you should adopt one. Like,
Go that far.
Brew has a dog, and Rem, do you have any animals? I don't
No.
I don't think so. You just have a cat that isn't yours.
Yeah, pretty much.
You just,
I
like,
take care of it.
you borrow it. Did you say you take care of it?
Yeah, pretty much.
What a stand-up guy you are. Guys, he deserves a round of applause. Give Rem a round of applause for taking care of someone else's cat. Better their cat than their kids, am I right? Oh, that's never gonna get old. Did I see Blow somewhere in the...
Yeah, he was talking earlier.
Did he abandon us now? Did you leave us? Blow, because if you left us, me and you are going to fight because I haven't seen you since the 80s. I'm going to blame Boy George. Also, quick reminder, Love is in the Air is still going on till the 21st. So if you are still working on your What a Long Strange Trip, go get that out of the way because you need this one if you haven't done it. And try for your pink love rocket. Everyone needs a pink love rocket. I really think it's ugly, and
I don't see the point in it.
it's good for collectors, right? If you need to go towards your mount collection, definitely try for it, but it's fucking ugly as shit. And the Swift lovebirds are equally as ugly. They just look like pigeons on steroids, and it's just very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. Also, because we weren't here to tell you, and we know that we are your only source of information on the internet, Raid Finder Wing 2 is already opened. So now you can go do it because we have officially told you. Wing 3 does open February 25th, and then Wing 4, which it's the...
Last two.
What is it?
What do
The I've been calling,
Carapace?
yeah, but I've been calling him caprese salad, but I know that that's not what it is. But
Breeze of Enzoth.
it just makes sense to me. And then Nazoth himself. So yeah, that's what's happening in the event world of World of Warcraft. Hotfixes, lots of them. Corruption changes, like all kinds of stuff. I personally just urge you to check out the hotfixes just so that you know them. Obviously, we didn't because we didn't know that the brawl was hotfixed to not be a thing because we're really bad at what we do.
In my defense, I said it was Hot Muku.
I'm still depressed. at the
Oh, you
echoing
finished
voice
it! Congratulations! That is freaking awesome. I think I got mine in 2015.
We finished ours together. It was
When was it?
3 years
15?
ago.
16.
it was like 3 years ago.
I don't even. What year is
It was-
it?
I'm pretty sure it was 2017.
I don't know. It was a long, strange trip.
It was
so.
2016.
It took me like 9 years to finish it.
Yeah, the stupid orphan one, because you have to rely on the kindness of strangers.
Yeah, those darn orphans.
You have to rely on the kindness of strangers in
That quest always cracks me up. It's like, hey, let's take your fucking little orphan kid into PvP.
after
Like-
you have to eat a ton of like chocolate in front of it. It's just,
Yeah, let's get diabetes and go.
I'm not
diabetes
saying
disease.
Blizzard's responsible for poor parenting, but they're not helping the situation. Like, legit, that always hurts my feelings because here I have this orphan who's probably starving. Then I have to eat in front of them. Then I have to take them into a very unsafe battleground. And we're heroes, right? Like, I'm a stud. However, I don't know that I could protect an orphan in a battleground. I feel like I should be more
Their
concerned.
liability. Like, come on.
Right. Like, I'm going to need to just let you go. Because I got to live. And,
Fly.
like, I need to see if you could fend for yourself because I got to live.
Trial by fire is always the best.
It's not me, it's you.
Right.
Ugh.
Exclusives from Baltimore. I'm just going to give the kid a knife and say good luck.
Yeah, like, call me, text me if you live after the battleground and we'll queue up again. In the meantime,
Other than that, good luck.
have at it, my friend. Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
honestly, that's how I learned most things in WoW. Is just like, let's just fucking do it, and then something happens. Either I get my face punched in more than normal, or it works out.
my favorite is new quest lines and me getting frustrated and I didn't read the quest, but I thought I read the quest, but I realized I like paraphrased. Like I quickly glanced and just looked for keywords. And then the thing I was trying to do the whole time
Yeah.
was in front of my face. And it was because I didn't read, which is ironically enough something I yell at my husband for. And I'm like, did you read the fucking quest? He's like, you never read the quest. You're not wrong.
Double tax.
So let's talk about this novel, which, as we know, this is how some like storytelling has happened when Christy Golden is the goddess of storytelling. So basically, I think is there any excerpts available for that yet?
Yeah, the I don't remember what their news site is called. It's like one of those, you know.
So
Yeah, they have like what they did with the one for and we're not gonna be spaced on the name of it right now.
Why didn't
but,
Christy Golden work on this one though? Why did this
um, I couldn't tell you.
She's working
I would
on
assume
another
that Christy
book.
Golden is doing actual stuff in game actually.
Yeah, like I know
She's
she's
actually hands on and stuff.
because
now.
she officially works for
Uh,
Blizzard. So
I thought she tweeted about how she's working on another book for Blizzard. It was like something about like the Eastern Kingdoms.
That
with,
would make
like,
that was gonna be my
Matthias
next
Shaw.
guess. Was yeah, she's doing stuff for future expansions, or maybe they're going to be doing more novels, more actual.
this gets
story
released July
too.
14th, and this is story transition from BFA into Shadowlands. So as it stands now, we are in February. We have an expansion being released this year. I have not heard anything on some rounds of alpha beta happening for.
So there's a conspiracy theory about that. Right, quick on Twitch, they actually have a new game category for Shadowlands Alpha.
Really?
Let me see if I can get a.
But my theory is because the BFA finals for sorry, that's later. Because the book releases in July. They released the previous book. I don't remember. I think it was like a month or two. Yeah, right before the expansion.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking July or August.
For beta?
For live.
Yeah, for live.
No.
Because
They're not gonna be ready.
Came out June.
I mean, beta doesn't do anything anyway, so.
No, I would say July will be when we're doing pre-expansion stuff.
Gross.
But I probably so my theory is that there's going to be at least 2 patches of pre-expansion stuff. And I think, like we talked about this on previous episodes, where each expansion they've stepped up the in-between content. So I'm hoping to see some more robust in-between content. When we talk about Ian's interview, he mentioned some things about the ending of the raid and it feeling underwhelming was intended in terms of, I think his wording was like, this was what we wanted. They're happy with what they did, which means that there's more to the story, right? I expect a big bada boom in between. Maybe
big bada boom.
Lilu Dallas Multipass. I do expect there to be a kind of a wrench thrown in because, like we said last episode, when Blizzard chooses to do something that the community calls underwhelming in terms of cinematography, cinematographics, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Did I say cinematography? I don't even know. Yes. I don't even know. It's like my universal translator just broke. Fuck. Let me try that again. It's not really like them to shirk on anything in terms of cinematic endings, right? And it's not really like them. And usually, if they do, it's followed by something else. Just throwing that out there, right?
My hopeful side, yes.
Well, I think at this point, if it isn't that, then we're really in trouble.
Well, I mean, it was a similar process where Warlords was meh, and then the next one was amazing.
Well, so
like Legion was one of the better ones. There's never going to be expansion that pleases every single fucking person, but it seems like there is an up and down lately.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could argue that's been since Wrath. Like, Wrath was like really great. It's deemed like one of the best expansions by the player base, and then like Kata was kind of like meh.
We don't really talk about Kata.
Yeah,
it started out good. I'll give it.
That's
that.
a dark day for Bell and Warlocks
and then
all
Mop,
over the land. So
Mop started off bad, but it ended up being really, really, really good. And I know a lot of the player base deems it one of their favorite expansions. WoD, we know what WoD was. Legion was excellent. Honestly, it was probably my favorite expansion so far. And then BFA has just been probably the worst received expansion by the player base.
That's weird though. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, well, BFA for me is just kind of medium. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. I'm enjoying 8.3. I'm enjoying doing mythics and raids and all that. But in terms of the story, again, it started out really good, and then it just kind of like plateaued, and then just kind of sat there. Legion was like up and up and up and up and up and up. And then same thing with WAD. I loved the beginning of WAD, and then it just plateaued, and it just sat there. There just seems to be like a lot of ups and downs.
You know, I think for BFA specifically, I think it's a fantastic expansion, and I think that there's so much poisoning of the well that happens that, like, the first 6 months of the expansion, everything was glorious, minus the outcries of the famous on Twitter, literally just gutting anything that they could, because he needs a fucking life and he needs to get laid. Really laid, though, and not pretend laid, where she tells him she's going to give him some and she doesn't, just using him for stream follows. But, like, legitimately, I feel like I'm not going to say that that's the reason the expansion is as Brew put it, like, not well received. But I do feel like poisoning the well is a thing, and I think that people
100%
don't
is.
even realize that that's what's happening, or
Well, that happens in anything. It's at work, in games,
right. You
activities
hear
in general,
something long enough, and in that background, it starts to kind of like,
yeah, you're doing fine. People over there are bad mouthing something, and then you're like,
yeah.
It's kind of like, what is it when you follow the group? It's, what the fuck is that called? Either way,
all of Asmongold's followers on Twitter. I mean, what
that's supposed to name drop.
lackeys?
Herd mentality. That's
They-
for sure.
Yes.
I could keep going, guys.
If enough people start, it's straight up poisoning the well. Because, like I said, BFA for me is, I like it. It's not like amazing, but I like it a lot.
And it makes me wonder if things that were originally intended were changed.
There was a lot of stuff cut, yeah.
Right? Like,
You can
That I
feel it,
agree.
yeah.
and I feel like that left them kind of scrambling, and I think they would rather have like a meh than more ridiculousness on the interwebs and frustration from people on the internet.
So they're gonna watch shows and.
They're not watching ours, because if they were watching ours, we have all the answers ready to fix all the problems. But
I mean, I could fix 8.3 right now. I mean, with an idea, not the coding and all that.
I think that
Does that have to do with essences?
the expansion overall told a really great story that I enjoyed being a part of. I think from an Alliance standpoint, I got to see parts of my king that I didn't know existed, which gave me a little bit more faith in him. But then I also saw things that made me really want to kick him in the teeth, because I feel like he should have handled it differently. But I'm not the king, right? Everybody can backseat drive all day long and do it better. Who am I to tell the king how to do his job? I do think that some of the story is a little flat towards the end here, and like there's some things that are, so Rathian is chilling with us, right? But we just fought him because he was taken over. But like, I don't know how to weave.
What?
Like, I don't understand the Rathian and what they're doing with it.
It was a vision, I thought.
Was it a vision?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, no. So that was a minion of N'Zoth. That wasn't made
actually
to look like
Rathian?
No, it wasn't actually Rathian.
So, but what is Rathian doing?
He's trying to redeem himself, pretty much.
Is
Yeah,
he
he's
though?
trying to redeem the Black Dragon Flight.
Is he?
That's what he says he's doing, at least.
Because I really don't feel like he is. I could
It-
be really honest. I feel like
It's not like a personal redemption, but it's a means to an end.
I feel like we let the fox in the henhouse.
I mean, sometimes you got.
Wouldn't be the first time Magni's done that. I'm not going to blame him for assumptions of whispers and all those kinds of things. Like, I get it. Magni was easily bamboozled. But I feel like that was on purpose. What if there's this thing that's going to happen that is, maybe it's raid-like in nature, that nobody knows about?
Ray like in nature?
Mm-hmm.
like a new raid
No,
coming out.
I wouldn't
after
say a
this
new
one?
raid.
Are you saying like a 40-man scenario or
Yeah.
something, or 30-man scenario?
Maybe a thing
But I mean,
happens.
what was it? The Broken Isles did something like that. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
Broken Isles did that. I was thinking Battle of Lordaeron was kind of like that.
because you figure when did the patch drop?
oh shit, when did it drop?
Mid-January. It was like
So February, March,
21st.
April. So around
20
April,
28 raid.
around April,
20
we should
14th.
see the beginnings of the in between
Oh
content.
Jesus.
Right? So then
I
we
was
have
thinking the raid.
May, June, July. If you think about it, July coincides with the second patch. If we're going by the 3-month standard of evergreen bullshit, whatever. Because you got to think about it in terms of the book. The book tells the story that they want to tell. They're not going to have that book come out and tell the story until Blizzard is ready to tell that story. So my assumption is that we should be...
Yeah, so the bare minimum then, when the book comes out, then we're going to have the pre-expansion.
We should have already had
Yeah.
probably what the book covers 99%. That's my assumption. And then it'll probably fill in gaps that Blizzard couldn't find a good place
Yeah.
to tell that story, right? And it's no secret that that would get released as information. Like, Blizzard does things purposefully. They want people to put pieces together without them having to be the ones that do it. But it is concerning that we are February and this should have already been in the first version of like the alpha, which is usually like all the famous people.
Yeah, with them announcing with 835 not being a thing, they should have been like, hey, by the way,
Alpha's
we're doing this
coming
other
real
stuff.
It's just really scary that that isn't a thing, to be perfectly honest. However, I do know that it's probably been like employee alpha is a thing and it's usually for quite some time. It could be that maybe they're not ready to receive the shit show.
Well, I mean, they only just announced the whole, the new esports format the other day, so they usually wait till the last possible second till everything's like finalized.
Yeah, but I would need to look at when they released the initial wave of alphas for BFA. It just seems like they're late in the game, which is a little scary. It's a little concerning, mostly because we are...
Well, Drew and I had a conversation about this. What was it, Friday or something other? Like I said earlier, betas don't really do much. I honestly, we want to have the game tested, but all beta has been for the past 2 expansions has been publicity on Twitch and streaming and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna do some investigation and see what's cracking. Before I forget, Island Expeditions, get these salvage crates from the doubloon vendor. And the salvage crates give you... I was kind of scoping through the transmog stuff. Some of that transmog
I told
stuff's-
you there's those 3 tricorns in there.
Like, some of those transmogs are kind of legit. There's one that's got these weird horns that creeps me out, whatever. But you can also get the mounts, including that fucking bird that just eludes me daily. Which...
Allude to which one?
175 for the Jorandal. The Rotting Mire's 175. And then the Whispering Reef, which in my mind, I do convert the reef to I, because that's how immature I am, for 120. But I wanted to make sure that that was called out, because I don't know how many people knew that. I personally don't feel like I'm interested in that, but you could also get the pets. So the in the Rotting Mire salvage crate, there's that monkey skeleton, Barnaby ? And then there's 2 or 3. I think there might be 3 pets from the Whispering Reef salvage. So I just wanted to make sure that was called out, because I feel like these are the little things. Now's the time when we're in between content. If you're still raiding with your guild and stuff like that, like, there's still really good things to do before the next expansion. And where I'm actually going to have a list next episode. We're going to go through some major to-do lists that you should do while we're waiting for the new content, because surprisingly enough, there's actually quite a bit to do in between expansions that are things that most people put off and then never think about them, but those are the times when I like to do those things.
Yeah.
Like, the fishing crap I did in Legion. I waited till the end of the expansion, and then I did all the fishing shit during my downtime to get... I do all the random achievements that I don't want to deal with, and so I have nothing better to do. And then I go and do them. So I'll have a pretty good list so that we can start planning how to keep yourselves engaged during this transition period. So now let's get to the... I want to talk about the World First race, but let's do the MDI and the AWC. So it's no secret that there was a lot of backlash with these toy situations, right? The toys really pissed everyone off. Now, technically speaking, Blizzard was just using creative wording to keep themselves from committing one way or the other to a certain thing. I'm not saying that that was correct or the right thing to do, but it is what it is. And I personally bought the toys and was a little frustrated because I would have liked to see the dollar stretch farther, but whatever. So we do have an increased prize pool, which obviously I think if they hadn't done that, like...
Yeah, that would have been even bigger.
Hopefully somebody didn't get a bonus and they cut some salary here and there so that they could increase that prize pool, because... as much money is made off of the tournaments in terms of whatever ads, people that
use
sub,
ads, all that, yeah.
people that sub because they want to be gladiators, like they want to be just like Sea-Doo. It's nice to see that that's a thing. So I don't understand the MDI format changes because I don't MDI. So Brew's going to have to explain the changes, because I don't MDI at all outside of Yago method. I don't know what I don't know what they were before to know what's great. So Brew, having had no preparation or warning,
Literally
welcome,
pulling it up right now.
welcome to being on the show. Yeah, because I don't know the difference outside of they added Mechagon, which is great. And then I read something while Drew's looking, or Brew's looking. It's really weird that the two are very similar.
That's the whole point. It's a playoff
Oh.
game at
Brew?
work.
I didn't really get that. It didn't. I just.
Because I get called Drusif a lot at work, and so I was just like, oh, this will be fun. Brewmaster Monk Drusif.
I get called remedies at work all the time. It's so weird.
I get called many things at work. Bella's not one of them.
I also get Jackass a lot.
Aw.
My.
Feels bad, man.
Well, I expect better from NASA. Saying. Maybe that is the problem. Maybe my expectations are wrong.
Yeah, the hazing
So-
in NASA is bad. They call you nerd and stuff. It doesn't make sense, but...
But we're all nerds.
So, stuff has happened. Stuff's changing. All I cared about was the increased prize pool for AWC, just because that's what matters to me most. I don't understand what the formatting changes are. It seems to be the same with 4 cups, which are seasons. Are they not?
just combined all
they-
of America.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, what it seems like to me is like I'm looking at it more of like how it's similar to like the NFL structured, where
Huh.
they have like the playoffs, like you have everyone, you have like the AFC going through the playoffs and the NFC, and they kind of meet at the end. That's what it seems like to me, because there's like the America Cup 1 and America Cup 2, America Cup
Yeah, so
3,
it looks like it's
end in
grouped
the
up like the
finals.
servers are, because the NA servers has Oceanic as well, so it makes sense that Australia and New Zealand are...
But so they're
I'm
back
thinking
to
it
calling
is.
them cups instead of seasons? Is
Yeah,
that?
they're cups now.
But they always were cups. But they were seasons for a time where there was summer, fall, fucking hot, and winter.
It could be like Spring Cup, Summer Cup.
Well, cups I understand, because I understand 1 through 4, and I understand that 2 comes after 1. When it comes to spring, summer, winter, fall, and fucking hot, I don't really I think it's easier for people to follow along. I don't know. What do I know, guys? I just work here. Yeah, the season. I think it's great that they're removing. The cups feels more like AWC to me in general. Again, MDI.
Like an actual championship kind of.
Yeah, like that's just. I call them cups still anyway. I was just calling them like the spring cup because.
I thought they were cups still. I didn't realize that they were seasons.
Yeah,
they have seasons.
I thought that was kind of cool, except for me, it's always been cups and.
I mean, it makes sense with global warming. I mean, seasons are kind of not really a thing anymore.
I just think sometimes like change some things to make it better, but let some things stay the same. Like give our players more money for the prize pool because God, if they don't fucking deserve it. But.
Well, it's annoying that it took this long for it to happen. I mean, there's championships for freaking Fortnite that are whatever.
Why did I see a fucking ninja soup cup at the store earlier?
Then
I saw it I block all things I can ninja related because guys, I'm sorry.
Do they play Fortnite, the kids?
Yeah, they're not allowed to watch Twitch. So I'm sure somewhere there's a fucking ninja ad in the middle of Fortnite something, but they're not allowed to watch Twitch. I don't want to absorb them into a world of watching other people. I want them to be doers. But God, he is like, how the fuck is he famous?
I actually have a ninja hat, but I didn't buy it. A coworker bought it for me because he didn't realize that it was a streamer.
It's like, oh, you play games, right?
Yeah, you play games and you stream. And he was like, well, you were like an IT ninja on this work trip, so I got you this hat that said ninja on it.
I watched approximately 3.4 minutes of a clip from his stream once because it was on, he was being interviewed something I was watching. How is he famous?
Honestly, it's kind of an anomaly.
Like,
PewDiePie makes sense. He's actually...
Listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go downstairs to my kitchen and I'm going to fucking duct tape a bunch of trash bags to myself and I'm just going to start posting random fucking YouTube videos and see how far I get.
Hashtag Sam the Bag Lady.
Like, no, seriously, like...
I mean, Belle. Who? Oh, no, Sam.
There is a market for that somewhere.
This is what scares me. It scares me because I'm getting older. And when you get older, you start to realize this country is going to be ran by these fucking morons. Worst, it's the people that are like worshiping.
I mean, I worship SCO.
He's dapper as fuck. And there are many people on the internet that wish they could be SCO. And we're going to talk about that later. Because you're trying a little hard, bruh. And I'm not going to make any friends. And I don't really care. But I'll let that sink in for a moment. But you're trying really, really hard. Really hard. And it's tacky. I need a Roman...
yeah.
I need the Roman Pierce picture because I was going to put it on the damn stream. Ugh. Missed opportunity, guys. Missed opportunity. So,
but I'm the best.
The good news is we got confirmation that there is an MDI and an AWC. These days, can't be too sure what the fuck's going on in Blizzardland. So the fact that we got confirmation is great. Keep in mind, this is probably we're leading up to an announcement for BlizzCon. So hopefully, you know.
Yeah, they said there's still stuff going on for BlizzCon because usually this kind of thing happens at BlizzCon. Usually there's preliminary qualifications and all that, and then
right. Well, and
add up all the tallies.
Will be by BlizzCon. Did they say we were going to be at Shadowlands by BlizzCon?
I mean, didn't they say something about how like some of the Arena Cup stuff is going to be based on Shadowlands content anyway?
Yeah.
So yeah, it reads
so
that
we know that Shadowlands is going to be before Christmas.
Yeah, it's got to be before BlizzCon.
Because it says the AWC will start up once Shadowlands has released. So that Shadowlands would be part of the arenas at BlizzCon, and you need enough time to actually get comfortable with that.
So we're looking at the 5th and the 6th of November, because it's always going to be the first week of it's always going to be the first weekend of November. So I think we're looking at about an October release. September,
August,
October,
but
which I'm
okay.
pretty sure, I don't think August, I think September, October. Though, I
guess
mean,
sounds better.
stranger things have happened.
The new seasons aren't that good, but yeah, I agree.
Stranger things have happened. Ladies in duct tape cells. I'm not saying that I Googled that once, but I have Googled that once. I can't really comment on why, but it's whatever. So let's talk about this world first race. Naturally, people are going to be a little out of their minds when another team that is not Method wins world first, right? I think we knew from the very beginning that Limit was going to take it. Method struggled a lot, and I'm not sorry, even though I love Method, because I think that these things are good. And I think the comeback story is going to be even better. I think it's good to see. I don't really see EUNA like everybody else does. I don't really care what country it is. I care about the team, not so much the country. I think it's great that, North America has has a win. But I'm not racist, guys. I don't fucking care which country wins. As long as it's not the Chinese's. I don't care. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm kidding. Kidding, guys. God, I'm not a monster. No, seriously, I don't really care what country wins or what region wins. That has never mattered to me. Teams are what matter. I follow the teams, not necessarily the country. I'm literally the most basic white girl I have ever met.
That's so un-American, Belle.
I am literally the most basic white girl, like literally from the trailer park you were ever meet. And like most of the teams I am obsessed with are not in America. So, I think it was.
But I mean, if you had a double wide, then that's okay.
I think it was really great to see Limit get a win. I think something could be said with making the choice to have Max coach instead of be on main roster. I'll let you take that where you want to take it. Keep in mind, there are many people in Limit that I love, including the general manager. She's one of my favorite people. I think it's really great for them in general because I think the team really deserved a win. I think they worked really hard for it, and I think it's great that they get to kind of experience the same love that Method has, and I think those things are good.
Yeah.
Pieces, I would really like to also see win a tier. I think it would be really nice to see Pieces win a tier. I was also super fucking happy to see Midwinter, though they are not going hard, right? Like, and we knew that years ago when the GM said, like, we're done rating in general.
Yeah.
Them coming back and choosing to just make a go of it and see how far they get, not sacrificing their entire lives. Because it's what it is, guys. It's a sacrifice. And it's a big sacrifice for Mythics.
What have you given?
But didn't Pieces get Crucible?
Yeah, but does that really count?
Yeah, I mean, it was like half a tier, but hey,
Nobody
they
even
at least got
counts.
one.
Nobody even counts like the 2-3 boss tier raids
Yeah.
because that's like filler in between shit.
Yeah, that's
to
like
do.
a Hellion from Wrath. No one even remembers that fucking boss.
Right. But I think it's really great that we saw an upset.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciated seeing the Method Boys' reaction. They do not
Well-
take loss very well. And as much as they put up a really good, like, they're all kicking themselves big time because they are very hard on themselves. And I'm excited to see what
Yeah, they can kick themselves during one of their breaks.
they really did take a lot of breaks though, for real. They really did. Right?
Yeah, no, it was a lot.
Now,
What I really hope for is that this, like you said, there's spikes up the competition. I hope it gets back to like Wrath days where the world first race and all that was.
I want to see many,
like, huge.
like not just two. I want to see many. And
Yeah.
like I said on Twitter, I think it's solid that we got a guild that could go head to head with Method.
Well,
and
and
I mean that.
Who's this big shark yes or fat shark yes? What was it?
I just love the name.
Yeah, the
Fat Shark
name is
Yes.
funny, but number 4, who are they? Like, stuff, I want to see stuff like that where it's like these people that are working hard for it come up out of nowhere and they get top 5, and it's like, okay, now they're like going to be an actual competition for the next tier, maybe.
Now, let's be real for a moment. I would never presume to steal anyone's joy. I think it's great. I think the team worked super hard for it. Let me tell you what I don't like. I don't like your fucking tackiness on Twitter. I don't like that because you won a world first race, because you are the coach and the head of the fucking squad. I don't like that you are literally Roman fucking Pierce tacky. Why am I not Twitter verified? Yo, when I get a sponsorship, blah, 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 blah. Listen, that shit is fucking embarrassing, my dude. Embarrassing.
Exactly why you don't have a sponsorship.
Embarrassing. Let me tell you something. Everything Scott has, that motherfucker worked from the very bottom. This was not handed to him overnight from one world first win. The tackiness is really bugging me, and it's only one individual that's doing it, and it is just fucking country is what it is. It is fucking double wide in the middle of fucking BFE, no fucking cable, rabbit ears on your TV, fucking fake AstroTurf in your front lawn.
Are we talking Indiana, Alabama, or like Arizona? Because I'm Indiana. That's my white trash. So.
Alabama, dude, which is probably like, and my family's from Alabama. Before anybody's like, whoa, what the fuck you got against Alabama? Like, we all admit that trailer parks in Alabama, like, that's low. But like, it is. Am I the only one that saw that though? Like, I just want to know if I'm the only one that felt that way. Because it felt like, I'm certain you've all seen the second Fast and the Furious, and I'm certain you've all seen Roman Pierce, and literally that is what it reminded me of. It was just... I do hear banjos actually in the background.
Someone replied with a very a good way of putting how he's acting. He's being a sore winner. Like, it is painful.
Big true.
Like, I'm glad I'm glad they got it, but the level that he's going at is annoying.
I think
and I have something to show you after show.
And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, guys. Like I said, I have friends in Limit and Trill, right? Like I love many people from Limit. I truly do. But if I had to see one more fucking post of just country, just fucking sleeping with your sister and your sister's wives, like, country, embarrassing. And it goes to show why NA shouldn't win things, because they can't be trusted. They can't be trusted. It's like they can't be trusted to hold a public office. Like, I don't know, but if you could not be tacky and just expect the red carpet to be rolled out and for you to be Scott status, because that's what it felt like you expected it to be Scott status. And I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody, but I feel like I can have the balls to say what most people are probably thinking, because it was rather cringe. It was more cringe than Rich Campbell, not even gonna lie. Like, that's my rant. Because all of the good things surrounding what's happening was completely overshadowed by me just seeing this just throw up on Twitter. And I'm just like, can you stop talking?
Well, at least we don't have to listen to him gripe about how someone at Warcraft logs allegedly leaked their logs when someone was dumb enough to log publicly.
Stop blaming the world for your problems, man. Girlfriend leave you, it's because you got a little dick.
I feel personally.
Job fired you, it's because you're bad at your job. Like, just don't. Seriously. Just, it's like Trump with Twitter.
Dude, it's just brain vomit.
Can somebody tell Trump to stop fucking tweeting? Can you?
Hey, man, you gotta congratulate Kansas State
Can
on their
you
victory.
fucking believe that? He's the
city of Kansas.
Okay, I have bad geography, right? Everybody knows I have bad geography. For the longest time, I thought England and Australia were
Oh my.
next to each other. I was like 19. Leave me alone. So, like, But I at least know the states, though. Like, that was really embarrassing for him. And he's the... So, listen, before somebody clips everything I just said and turns it into this big thing and we have all this beef, it really wasn't about that. It's reality. And I'm telling the truth, and I'm telling the way that I feel, and I'm telling...
Uh-oh, there goes gravity.
The way probably many of you felt. But I hate to see so much good work be drowned out by sheer tackiness and expectation and assuming that because a win happened this time that you're on the same level. And it's no offense, but the level that some are on, they worked many years to be on that level. We're talking literally from like the bottom. So take it in stride and build into that. Don't expect all those things to be amazing. No, you can't get Twitter verified because you won one fucking tier of World First. That's not the way that it works. The general manager of Method can't even get Twitter verified, and she really should be the one that's Twitter verified. I'm very upset that she did not get Twitter verified because it feels weird. But who cares? Twitter verified doesn't make you more valid anyway. Having a check mark on your Twitter does not make you more valid as a human, and it doesn't make what you have to say any better or heard more. It just means that people who need somebody to worship will only follow you if they see a check mark. That's what it means. But personally, after having reflected, I prefer quality, not quantity. So, with that being said, that's my rant. I was just very... I was posting. And it was side-handed post because I didn't want to get in trouble. Because I'm not trying to start a beef. There's many people on the internet trying to start those beefs. Like, taking clips of what Roger's saying. And, like, Roger's, like, the nicest guy in the world, literally. If you've never met Roger, he is the nicest guy in the world. I saw so many people trying to start shit between him and Limit. He wasn't even talking about Limit most of the time. And it's whatever. So.
And people grasping for straws that whole week, you know.
And you don't have to look for beef.
Where's the beef?
It's just unnecessary. So let's talk about what this does mean, though, in good context. So we saw... did anybody see that infographic of the views on Twitch that was posted?
Oh, yeah, the amount? Yeah, no, that was crazy.
Where World of Warcraft was the top?
But just Method alone was...
The most watched.
But keep in mind, Method had 4 or 5 other guilds in studio. And when Method wasn't physically on streaming...
Yeah, Version and Midwinter, I believe, yeah.
There was the third, I thought.
No, it only had 2 other guilds.
Okay, maybe.
They were streaming others slowly. Like, they had the... towards the end of it, I think they had one of the Korean or Chinese servers ones. I can't remember the name. I think it's Alpha or something other.
But
Sounds right.
The competition's good. It's good for the soul. Another team winning is good. It's very good.
That's it. Yeah, I want it to be.
Nobody wants to
actually
be the
exciting.
champion all the time because it's not fun. Nobody wants to challenge somebody who's unbeatable, right? Nobody.
Yeah, fuck Warlocks. I mean,
Nobody
what?
wants that. And, you know, we were missing a lot of elements this tier. You know, Kana, he came in, but he wasn't his normal, like, he ended up coming on stream
yeah,
and all
I'm confused.
that.
Isn't he usually Resto?
But he's normally, like, a big part of all the things. Like, he didn't even go out, I think, until, like, the second or, the third day in. And I think roster shuffles and, like, a lot of things that, you know... But they've got a lot of time to make that right and to kind of hone and do those things. But to that end, you know, the other side of the coin, what happens when you get when you explode too soon? Some people aren't ready for that. I'm just going to throw all that out there because I've seen it happen, especially in this particular industry scene. Sometimes you get a little ahead of yourself and you're not ready for...
Get a little too worked up. And
You're not ready for everything that comes along with more money, more problems. And I don't even... I'm not talking about currency, but that's why you got to really work into wearing the big boy shoes. But we'll let that work itself out. But I think it's insane to see... They took something that's always been pretty big, but they're making it not you should watch, they're making it a must watch. And I think that that's a good thing. It's a good thing for the game, and it also keeps the devs on their toes. Ian talked about it in his interview in regards to the final, the final phase or whatever, and they're like, why don't you let people test, blah, blah, blah. And Ian just said, like, we never get the element of surprise. It's no fun. There's no element of surprise.
Then they should have expansion based on the Spanish Inquisition. No one would expect
Well,
it.
I was thinking about that statement, and I thought, okay, that sucks for the world first scene. That's terrible. But is that Blizzard's fault? That we've made world first what it is? And that so many rely on everything being on point with the last boss, right? Like, when I was thinking about this from a logical perspective.
I mean, yeah, because they do this on PTR for ever beforehand.
Yeah, but there's
so-
parts that there's elements that they don't show.
That's what I'm saying. That's what they need to keep it. Like, I mean, there might be bugs, but they need to work that shit out too.
Yeah, and think about this. Like, would you rather, like in terms of like the parts of the mythic encounters like we don't get to experience, right? So like think of it like in the context of sports, right? Because I know, some of Twitch chats even saying like they've made this into an esport essentially, like this like a race.
Mm-hmm.
And think of it like football, right? Like we'll say like the regular season, right? Like you have like certain footballs that like can only be inflated so much, and you have these rules, and then you get to the playoffs and it's like a completely different size ball, it's weighted differently, it's inflated differently, and the rules are different.
Mm-hmm.
Then you
Yeah,
get to the
yeah.
championship and it's like you have no idea what you're going into, right? Because we'll say the rules change every year for the Super Bowl. I mean, that wouldn't be as fun because people would be all over the place. And I think if we were able to test the final boss and all of the mechanics for all of the bosses, yeah, it takes out the surprise of it, but would you rather watch all of these guilds that are really going for it be more practiced and be a more well-oiled machine and just see who executes better when the race starts and matters? Because I think that's going to lead to a better product in terms of like, it might make the race shorter, but it'd be a better product. Like you would see a lot more consistency.
I think the answer is Blizzard just needs to get better with their own internal testing. And I think Ian said that himself. I find it hard to believe that whoever's doing the testing, I'm sure there's several rounds of testing that happens in QA, considering the fact that I met the person in charge of QA, and he seems pretty detailed in general as a person. I do think that the quality control has to start from within, and this is coming from my own perspective with my own company, where every fucking release I'll be goddamned if some shit isn't on fire, and I'm awake at 2 a.m. on the horn with fucking 20 of my Australian customers who are livid. And I say this to my engineering team. Where's the testing? Do we fucking test people? And they say, well, we don't really know what's going to happen once it's live. It changes, and there's all these variables. I get it. But I don't think it's our problem to solve. I think their testing needs to be better. Is the answer to not have secret phases anymore? To not have any surprises? No, that's not the answer. Is the answer to take a group of seasoned Mythic Raiders so that they could secretly test phases? That's not the answer. The answer is the internal testing that's being done by the people that make this game need to be better. And yeah, we can't foresee all the things that are going to happen in live given how Raiders do their comps, their strategies. Like, there's a lot of variables, but I feel like we've been doing this fucking long enough where maybe we can. Like, we're not new to this in general, and when I say we, I'm talking about the developers. We are not fucking new here. These are things that we just need to be better, generally speaking, because the testing has always been large parts relied on PTR, right, and betas. I've seen tons of people do feedback and it get ignored.
Yeah.
I've seen tons of people just use it to boost their stream numbers and not do feedback.
Also,
I think the way that they pool their testers is wrong. It's always been wrong, and we've had many episodes over the years of that conversation and discussion where, and I even asked Holinka 2 years ago, like, who gives you your fucking list of who to pull for beta? Like, I'm not talking about alpha when you have to know a guy who knows a guy. I'm saying that because I get that, and I'm not trying to, like, shit on the fact that I get it. It just, like, I would trade my spot for somebody who's going to do a lot of testing and give good quality feedback. But I do think that if the world first race continues to grow, and I think that this last round has upped the ante, I think we can expect that there's already been a very lengthy conversation internally at Blizzard that said, guys, this shit is on the forefront of all the players. Can we please make sure that we release this as fucking flawless as possible?
Yeah.
Because all eyes are literally here. I'm sure that conversation has been had. If I was the director of whatever department is responsible for having that conversation, I can tell you what it would go like if I was in charge, and it would not be pretty. So...
And with the numbers they're pulling, like, it's not just World of Warcraft players that we're pulling in here, right? Like, these are, like, the numbers that are, like, putting them at the forefront on Twitch. And so you're probably getting a lot of gamers who don't even play WoW, have never played WoW.
Huge
Huge
exposure, right?
Yeah, it's good exposure for the game. And think about it. Like, if you're someone who's never touched WoW, you've heard about it, you've heard it's great, and you've always wanted to try it, and you tune into one of these streams, like, this is the best of the best, I'm going to watch it, and the boss is bugged, like, that doesn't look good. That's not a good first impression.
yeah.
And, you know, I see people, like, hype for, like, Overwatch League, right? And hype for, like, Hearthstone, like, and even the fucking cucks that play Call of Duty, no offense. If you guys are one of those fucking morons, I apologize in advance. But, like...
Philly Fusion.
Like... That's next level shit.
Want to get down on some COD after this, Brew?
And that's
COD? I was referring to
productions.
Overwatch.
That's productions that's not being put on by Blizzard. Blizzard doesn't have to spend any money on this because other people are footing the bill, right? The complexities of the world and the take TVs of the world are seeing an opportunity and seizing it, right? They're seeing the opportunities of being a part of something that is literally exploding, and I hope the value is seen everywhere, honestly. And maybe that's by design. We talked about this when all the layoff stuff happened, right? I talked about if you are dealing with higher ups and stakeholders that are refusing to see reason because they don't understand the player base, or they're looking at it from a monetary perspective. Sometimes your responsibility is to show them because they won't see reason. I've done it at work with my boss. When he doesn't see the value in a thing, I have to show him that value. I think this is a pretty good case for them, and it's nothing they were involved in. They just made a raid, and the community did the rest. So if that speaks any kind of volumes to the internal Blizzard stakeholders that are in charge of making decisions and allowing them their creative freedom to make the game that we want it to be, I'm pretty positive about that. Like, I feel like it's really hard to ignore.
Yeah.
But it's above my pay grade, and I don't work there, so I don't get to have... mine is just based off my own corporate... I was going to say espionage. Not what that is at all, just so I'm clear. But I think...
Sabotage.
I think Shadowlands is... I think we're going to see... I don't know just yet. I don't know.
Shadows and lands.
Right now, Blizzard's getting free press, essentially. They don't have to foot the bill because it's being done.
I mean, yeah, even with the some of the bugs, it hasn't been bad PR.
The YouTube thing, I think, once I see the first fucking tournament that's a shit show on YouTube streaming, that's really, we'll really
Yeah.
see, like, if it's bad, I'm not even stressed about it because, like, MDI people are loud. No community's louder than the fucking PvEers or PvPers. Like, if it's bad, the whole world's gonna know it's bad because
That's pretty valid.
Yeah.
they'll fix
I
it.
tuned into Overwatch League today just because my favorite team was playing the Philly Fusion. So, but
Gross.
like, I didn't hate it. I thought it was still a decent stream. Like, the quality was good. Didn't have any issues with it. I was kind of disappointed because, like, I actually I told YouTube, it was like, hey, let me know when this goes live, like this specific thing for, like, day one.
You
this
can do
week or
that?
whatever. Yeah, like I went to like the Overwatch League channel, and I went to the one I wanted to see because I knew it was going to be, or it was the one that was showing my team, and I just said, let me know when this goes live at 3:30, and I never got a notification.
Huh.
So I was actually pretty disappointed about that.
I mean, I'm disappointed in a lot of
I mean,
things.
it wasn't LA Valiant, but that's okay.
Overwatch is not the business. It's someone's business. It just isn't mine. That's just terrible. Also, before I forget, I want to talk about. I have more stuff that we're going to be talking about in terms of the culture of things that will kind of develop as we go. I'm really tired, so you're not getting the best of me. But I think these are good. These are good discussions to have because if there are the powers that be that are paying attention to these fucking scrubs at Pwnecast that are calling this stuff out, I hope they're entertained at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, like, also with their internal testing, right? Like, so at NASA we have a term FIFI, and that stands for fuck it, fly it.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, at some point, right, you gotta say FIFI, and it might not be perfect, but it's gonna be as close as you can get it at the time.
But never have I ever seen a company react to a community this way, in general. I think we've said that. I think anybody will say that. And I play a lot of different games. And I've never seen a company give a shit. I know everybody says Blizzard doesn't care, but I've never seen a company bend the way that Blizzard does for their community, for fuck's sake, man. Like, go play another game and see how that community's ran. I've been trying to get some changes made to GTA since the fucking beginning of the time, and I don't even know if GTA devs are even fucking paying attention to anything anymore. They got their head so far up the new GTA's ass that they don't give a shit. But, like, I have never seen a company give a shit about their community. I've been fighting the EA battle with the many EA games that I play. Like,
That's because it's EA.
they care. That means something. Just because they don't care the way that we want them to doesn't... But, before I forget,
There's the catch.
Wowhead last week highlighted a add-on, and I like to check out new add-ons that are being highlighted, whether it's Wowhead or if I see it on another podcast, or I often go to Twitch and just check out the up-and-coming ones, and I test a lot of them that I don't ever talk about because usually they're not really good. But then when I get the good ones, like the Flight Master, which was my favorite, just because I'm directionally challenged. But, so, I went to check out this add-on called Corruption Tooltips. Now, for me, it's no secret. I can't math, guys. I can't math. I can't statistics. I can't... Fuck. I can barely even read these days.
2 plus 2 is 4.
I was elected to read, not to read.
Exactly. So this add-on, basically, it's just extended tooltips. And I'm sure that there is additional settings that I didn't get to, like, jump into, but, like, it gives me the rank of my Void Ritual, which is nice. Like, you can find that in...
Okay, that's pretty nice, yeah, because you have to know the amount of corruption and know what rank it is at.
Yeah. And then, hold on, I gotta click. Yeah, so it tells me, like, that way when I'm hovering over it, like, if it was in my bag. Ideally, like, it's I'm sure there's many with many corrupted pieces that they probably use for specific fights or specific purposes or whatever the case may be, given what it does. And then, yeah, in my overall, it has additional in the overall, which it basically tells me what I'm working with in terms of, which is nice. So it's called Corruption Tooltips, and I highly recommend it. I did test, as I always do. I don't ever recommend add-ons unless I have tested them personally, because...
I mean, what if I gave you a bunch of money to endorse this one add-on?
You know...
But it's complete garbage.
I wouldn't, actually. When I had to do that Kensington video, I literally used every single thing that they sent me, and I used
Everyone has a price.
I used it for a length of time because I wanted to be legit in the information that I was given. I don't like to be that guy that, like, endorses stupid shit. I'm just saying.
But G Fuel is amazing.
I had someone to throw shade at, but it's lost now. It's Bangkok's got it now.
What? I've never even heard that term before.
You have never heard?
Bangkok got it? No.
So Warcraft Radio did an interview with Ian, which I thought was kind of strange. It's always weird to me, like how do these things just randomly happen? Like,
but is it random?
right?
At all?
Like, did they just call and be like, "Hey, we need you guys to like put out some fires in regards to like this raid nonsense, so let's do an interview with Ian"? I'm not really sure how any of that works because I've never been on anybody's list that would receive that call, and I wouldn't want me on that list either, because I would ask questions. I would fucking Chris Hansen his ass, so it's not the best idea.
Please take your seats.
My favorite's when they ask him about Shadowlands and he's like, nah, bitches. Like, you're not getting any answers about anything. So let's do the summary in terms of the N'Zoth death and cinematics. Basically, definitely hints about where things are headed in the future. That people probably have already like, oh shit, that makes total sense. Regarding the N'Zoth payoff, they are satisfied how it turned out. They heard the feedback. There's some element of that was it or whatever. He said, a regret is how the cinematic is viewed by most people. It was designed being the hero. They're thinking back to criticism they've gotten in the past, such as Thrall and Deathwing cinematic. But again, he didn't say sorry. It basically is like, this is what we meant to do. So shut the fuck up and quit whining about it. Was kind of like, I replayed that particular portion of the interview like 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
By the by, I watched this in the airport. It had like 6 hours till my flight, and I got to the airport wicked early. So this was when I was going back to Munich, but I was watching the interview, and I kept replaying because a lot of times there'll be tells. If you just watch body language, I like to play Madame Cleo and let me guess what you really are thinking. That's kind of what his mannerisms tell me, that there's something bigger there. That maybe they don't want to spoil. I don't really know. I could be totally wrong. Maybe they just were fucking out of steam. Like, it's the
Honestly,
last raid, and maybe they're really just busy with Shadowlands. And maybe they needed all fucking hands on deck.
That's a bad excuse, though.
Is it?
Because, I mean, have you actually watched the cinematic? Like,
Yeah, there isn't much to it.
it's...
I watched it twice just to see if I missed anything that was in... But...
Well, what bugs me about this is it doesn't line up well. It's not related to World of Warcraft entirely, but with Warcraft 3, there is a cinematic between Arthas and Illidan that they outsourced. Like, Blizzard doesn't do shit like that. Why would... It just doesn't line up proper. The same thing happens with another game that it does with Warcraft, with the end of a raid. Something's off.
Who decides what is appropriate at the end of a raid? We're the ones that have that expectation, not Blizzard. And it's not Blizzard's fault that that's our expectation. I'm playing
it's
devil's
not Blizzard
advocate here.
Quality.
But who decides what's appropriate for a cinematic for an end boss? We are the ones that put that expectation, not Blizzard. I'm saying this from the truest, most realistic standpoint. I'm not saying like, wow, that kind of shitty, right? I've done that with quests or like things that have been underwhelming, especially given how awesome the in-between cinematics for going through the war campaign and shit like that. Like, that's pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah, and like I totally agree with you, Belle. But at the same time, like think about like the expectations that were set at like the end of Legion. Like we sit there and literally fought Argus, well, like Argus the Unmaker, World Soul, right? And then we see at the end of the fight we have the cinematic where where Sargeras is out and he has this giant ass sword and sticks it into Azeroth, and we imprison Sargeras, and we have defeated the Burning Legion. And N'Zoth is like an old god. This is like he is on the level of like Sargeras, especially like in lore.
Yeah, but he's like he's not the famous of all the old gods. He's like,
calling him the weakest is true, but at the same time, the weakest one is still strongest than anything that's on Azeroth.
Yeah, and like, you know, like we all knew that eventually we were going to be fighting N'Zoth, right? Like we fought Cthulhu, we fought Yogg-Saron, and like he's like one of the biggest bad dudes that was like left after we defeated the Burning Legion, and it just kind of ended, like, you know, it just ended.
so what was the expectation there? what would you have done differently, or what should have been? How should the cinematic have been, according to you guys? What should it have been?
It wasn't the cinematic itself. The way that it panned out was okay. It was the quality of the actual cinematic. Like if you're looking at the spells and everything's clipping, it just looks janky. It looks like it's just from like a little quest that I did.
But it was because it was from our perspective, right? It had us in it and all that good stuff.
Well, I don't like the fact that we are like this champion that we're supposed to be this amazing hero, but we still get captured by like some little thing in like Legion. It's just none of the stuff. There's a lot of stuff I don't agree with on that one, but
if it,
I don't
so
like that was us. It's always supposed to be the champions of the Horde and the Alliance, not just us, which is weird.
I don't agree with that. It's been just us this entire expansion.
I don't like that.
But is it better than watching Thrall sit up on a fucking thing up there while we're fucking doing the business fighting Garrosh, and then here he comes to fucking Makara and all this other shit after the fact, after we already did all the hard work?
Oh, that one is bullshit too.
But like
but the cinematic was good. That was it was awesome cinematic.
Oh, that was excellent.
It's not that. That's what I'm saying. It's not the cinematic like the way that it went around. It's just not Blizzard quality at all.
What did you want? Like Anduin and fucking Jaina sitting around high-fiving us? Legitimate question, not even sarcasm. Legitimate question.
I wanted it to be up to par on their quality, not the way that it went around it. It's the quality that they did. It looked like it was made in an in-game cinematic, and it was gross.
Like I thought the Rathian cinematic with him.
Yeah, when you beat the Carapace. Yes, that's
like,
fucking
that
amazing.
Was that like I thought that was better quality than the end cinematic. Like that was epic. Like I felt like that mattered, right? Like he pierced the carapace of N'Zoth. We had to fight.
I have a question.
Yeah, okay.
Is it possible that didn't actually happen?
If it didn't happen, it's still not Blizzard quality.
I'm asking if it's possible that entire raid did not actually happen.
I mean, like it's just like in a vision.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it past Blizzard to do a mind fuck like that.
Food for thought, right?
I mean, that was something that I said early on. Not on here, but during the raid, I was like, that's... I mean, the whole thing with Rathian, when you are doing the assault in Uldum, you attack your own camp because of a vision. He is literally the mind fucker of the world. Like, N'Zoth is the corrupter. He's the reason why Rathian and Netherian, from even during the fucking War of the Ancients 10,000 years ago, the whole fall of Netherian was started from 10,000 years ago. So I mean, I wouldn't put it past the whole plot to not go that way, but it's still the fact that the cinematic was not there up to
I mean, if you're if there's either one or two scenarios happening, one, we were put through this as a test to see if we could actually handle the final situation, whatever, and then, you know, maybe there's a cinematic that happens where we actually do the damn thing, and it's real, or if it's maybe we're actually all in a small little prison because N'Zoth's running around the fucking
and we're in the Matrix, yeah.
Azeroth fucking helicoptering and fucking ding dong ditching while we're in this like fucking space-time continuum rift black hole situation, and they hastily did ending cinematic because they didn't have budget because it's in Zothan crew, and maybe
That's embarrassing.
Maybe the pre-expansion stuff is us getting broken out, busted out, or finding out whatever. I'm just saying it's just a possibility, and given the fact that this entire expansion is nothing as it seems, it would be a little unprecedented, wouldn't it? I think it's something many of us wouldn't expect. I'm not trying to get people hyped for no reason, but I'm just saying it's possible.
So, taking your point and combining it with some of Twitch chat, someone said, didn't Sylvanas also say that he would also serve death in the end as well? Yes, she did. She said that in the Horde or the Sylvanas Loyalist quest line, and it was like the end clip cinematic for that. She said that even N'Zoth himself was going to serve death. Like literally the streets would be covered in bodies. Like, and I'm imagining it like the plague back in vanilla.
N'Zoth and Old Gods, they wouldn't go to their essence,
Right.
or their soul wouldn't go to the Shadowlands, though.
Yeah, I'm not referring to the Old Gods essence at all. Like, I'm referring to like the streets of the cities being lined with bodies, and we.
Oh, I know the shit's gonna hit the fan because of this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and like another person's right. Like, we still have all the tentacle uwu daddy followers that are wearing the eyes. Like, what happened to those people?
I'm just
what are they
saying.
doing?
What
Well,
if-
that's what I don't want to happen with this is it's gonna get put to the side. Like the whole thing with Azeroth being awakened now, she's communing with Magni and all that. And with us going to Shadowlands next expansion, what the fuck is gonna happen to Azeroth? Are we actually gonna birth the World Soul? Or are we just gonna let her fucking sit in some meditating state? Like, what's going on with that?
I bet
Like,
she
We're
needs to
gonna
heal
pull the
herself.
big ass sword.
Yeah, but she needs to heal herself. She's got a lot of work to do. But I'm saying
I want. Oh, sorry. Good.
I'm saying it really feels like this might not have been real. Wouldn't it be amazing if it wasn't real?
I mean,
I'm just saying.
yes, and no.
What if we have yet to see the reality?
But how does
Probably-
gravity work?
Probably wishful thinking, but I mean, again, Blizzard is very purposeful, and I'm not even talking about the raid itself, but these visions naturally because of N'Zoth, right? Except,
Mhm.
how do we trust the reality? Seriously, how do we trust it?
Honestly, the greatest comparison for N'Zoth would be it's like he's constantly has the Reality Stone from
Right.
Marvel. But on the same point, it's not about what happened. It's the quality of the cinematic. That's my only
But so
point right now.
So, if you have created this, what did I just watch that had,
Jazz hands?
No, we just watched a movie where the fuck, it's escaped me because I'm exhausted.
What's the-
Spider-Man. I
Season
just watched the last Spider-Man.
Oh.
Jake Gyllenhaal has all these drones that create these big old fake to-dos, and he pretends to fight these big huge monsters, but it's all I can't think of what's the word? An illusion. What are you hiding? It's basically what it is. But if you are the person who's got us in this illusion, and this is a theory, guys, it's just a working theory, I don't really think your cinematic's going to be movie quality because you're, like, piecemealing shit together to try to keep us in this fake reality or whatever I believe could be. I think there's the two possible scenarios. I'm just saying, like, are you going to really put all your effort into a cinematic that's supposed to be for our benefit? I'm pretending I'm Nazoth or whoever could be doing this. You know.
Oh, so Nazoth cut the budget for the cinematic?
No, but I'm saying, like, I don't know. I'm just saying. I haven't seen anyone say, "What if this isn't real? What if we just went
Actually,
through
that's
this?"
a working theory already.
It is.
Where?
Theory.
Who has spoken these working theories? I have not seen one interwebsite. Where's the theories posted?
Well, not the official ones. They don't know what's going on.
Okay, but who has said that this is a possibility? Because I would like to see.
Well, I've talked to people in game, and I can't remember what Discord it was, but it's.
I definitely saw it on YouTube. I can't remember if it was like Bellular or Taliesin that said something similar too.
Lesbian sweater. Taliesin's really
But,
smart, so
It
if he
works.
said it, I would say it's true.
It works though because like he is literally the mind fucker of the world. Like,
And maybe the cinematic was bad on purpose.
no, stop justifying it.
No, but I'm saying, like, we always want to go to the negative instead of thinking of the possibilities. And it's probably wrong, and this was probably intended, and they just probably ran out of fucking...
Time.
They were just like, fuck
Beefy.
it. Yeah, let's fucking roll with it, and we'll ask for forgiveness instead of permission. Like, but what if it isn't? And what if this is the best transition to a new expansion? What if that is the case? The problem is we are so quick to jump off the deep end. Here we are jumping to conclusions, and the whole fucking flash mob is jumping with us off this cliff of conclusions. Instead of thinking of possible reasonings, instead of always just assuming it's because Blizzard's fucking lazy cunts, when it probably is not the case, or it could be.
Again, I'm looking at the positive. I'm just saying right now, cinematic is not up to snuff.
I feel like that's when you have like this kick-ass monitor and then your monitor breaks and then you're back to like this little tiny shitty one and you're like, this is just not optimal. So I want to put it out there for people to just absorb. He was Ian's interview was very much like, all the pieces and parts are there. People just need to look. That was kind of like his mantra when he was talking about things. He's just like, everything is there and people will look back and will blah, blah, blah. Like, it could have all been bullshit too. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. It could have 100% all been bullshit. But, so, what does that mean though?
What does what mean?
How do we jump from here to Shadowlands? What happens in between?
Well, with the fact that Nazoth is out of the picture, that definitely opens up the kind of like the water gates for Sylvanas to be a raging little bitch and start doing her plan. I don't know how, like, I don't know what time frame they're going to be doing. I don't know if it's like going to be months or if there's or maybe the pre-expansion will be completely getting rid of the corruption, or
maybe we're really kidnapped and we have to spend until Shadowlands breaking the fuck out of whatever weird fucking psychic mind trip somebody's put us in.
I mean, didn't they announce at BlizzCon that we're gonna, like, the pre-patch is gonna be like Scourge invasions?
Yeah, it's going to be events like that where, because of the breaking of the Helmut domination, it's.
Yeah, but we still have to get to that point, right? So
yeah,
there's going to be something that connects that to that.
And they very well just do like a, hey, everything's groovy now, and then oh shit, hit the fan. Or it might be we are actively getting out of some vision thing. I don't know.
How cool would that
I'll
be?
have
though?
to think about that.
How cool would that be? We were like,
I mean, feels too Matrix, but yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
well,
We actually hit the reorigination array.
That's what I want.
I'm saying, like,
Just hit the fucking button and give me WoW 2.0.
I just feel like, I feel like it could just be because that's what I really want, but I can't be, like, people that have thought of this, certainly Blizzard has as well, like, they need a wow factor.
Because it's WoW.
You know what I mean? Like, they got to come out swinging again. So
That's valid.
we're so used to the linear A to B. We've always been used to that. And that's what I meant earlier by we are the ones that set those expectations, not Blizzard. Blizzard isn't responsible for where we choose to set those expectations. However, they kind of are. I'm a good cook, so when I have a night where my cooking's kind of off, whose fault is it? Is it
That
mine?
lasagna better not be off.
Is it mine or is it my family's? Because how dare them expect perfection every night I cook? Or is it mine because I
mean-
gave them that expectation? Like, it's
I mean,
one of those
whenever
things.
Yeah.
Chicken
I mean, when I
nugget.
go to your house, I expect fucking good food.
Right. Right. It's just one of those things where it's like, eh.
I guess it's a double-edged sword because me personally, I do expect him to have Blizzard quality.
And there has to be a reason Taryn wasn't involved in this particular scenario. There has to be a
Yeah,
reason.
even with the Shadowlands, though, he wasn't the main guy on there.
Really?
It's his team, though. He's the boss.
It's his team, but he wasn't like.
He delegates now. Once you get so far up, you don't get your hands dirty. You
But
just
I gotta have the head churn and all this.
you're like the orchestra. But he goes no goes, so he's ultimately it passes through him to
like yeah, no, the cinematic between Jesus Christ, Poor Dragon. I was spaced on his
But
first
what
name.
if
Holy
what
crap.
if something is in the works right now that is like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Tyrion?
What? No, not Poor
Oh,
Dragon.
Poor Dragon.
Bolvar. Jesus Christ.
Bolvar. Yeah.
Um,
Sorry.
Oh, speaking of that, Talon, his daughter,
Talia.
Talia. Yeah, that's what I said.
Isn't it Talia though?
Taelia, whatever you want. Talia.
I don't know. We were saying old Doom wrong for like 10 years. So
Yeah.
Old dude. I was spelling it wrong for 10 years.
But yeah, they at the end of the campaign, they were like, "Oh, hey, by the way, I have some stuff to tell you about your dad. What the fuck happened with that?"
what? Oh yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that's like build up. Ooh.
That's what I'm
Aha.
saying. It's certain that it is not. So if this ends up being maybe we're in some weird mind-fucked prison where we think we've won. And we're fucking at the pub having beers, fucking
Just go to the pub, just wait for it to blow over.
trying to get dates and fucking singing karaoke. Meanwhile, like, shit's probably going down. I don't even know. Maybe Rathian has got us in some fucking, I don't know. But if this ends up being right, I need to win an award, maybe a Grammy, maybe a fucking Golden Globe. Like, I need to win something here.
So like in like the pages that like we collected in like 825 I wanna
His journal
say?
you can read in the Chamber of Heart.
Yeah. Like in that journal, doesn't he talk about like wanting to hit the button on the regeneration array?
So what
No.
happens when you hit that
No?
button? Just in case people at home don't know what that means.
So the Hall's reorigination, it sets the world to the Titans' bare minimum what they wanted the world to be.
Like default
So-
settings?
Yeah, so
You factor
the
reset.
Cataclysm would be reverted. Everything would be as it was, even before the Well of Eternity stuff. So you would have World of Warcraft fucking Pangea instead of Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor.
I wonder if it would make
There would be no old gods. There would be no corruption. There would be no Illidan. That whole scenario
wouldn't you
there.
it would make
it
sense
would
for them to do that story-wise, especially given
What?
but especially given the implications of Shadowlands, right?
Dude, Death's broken. All right.
Maybe we were put in this vision mindfuck to keep us safe while they did a thing. Just throwing that out there.
Who put us in the mindfuck?
I don't know. I'd blame Magni because Magni, he would be the most want to keep them out of harm's way. Maybe they are doing a thing. Maybe they're.
I mean,
fucking...
low key, the reason why we are who we are is actually because of the old gods. The Curse of Flesh was done by Yogg-Saron, so.
And
maybe-
also Eve.
Maybe they're looking
and
out
the
for
apple.
us. They're actually our saviors, guys. Okay.
Eve and the apple were also curses.
You still have that eye on your head, Rem?
I have the toy.
Yeah, I have the
But
toy.
Ram-
I took the
took
eye
the,
off because
It was messing up my dude.
I was just getting sick of looking at it, and it just the whispering
But
eye
what
was just
about
staring
it?
at me.
I can get another character.
But Rem, why was there a Starbucks cup in my cinematic?
Oh. Fucking.
So, I just want to let that simmer because this week I'm going to start looking for clues,
Looking through the glass.
which is code for I've sent some text messages to people. I'm trying to see what I could get to bite back. He's not drunk enough yet, so I'm not getting any responses. However, just this is now curiosity's sake, but I think I want to go over, and I want to challenge you guys that are listening and watching. I go find stuff and link it to me, DM it to me, email it to me. Let's
Slide in my DMs, guys.
don't send me dick pics, but let's problem solve.
Send all dick pics to Rem.
Thank God I didn't get any on my birthday, which was really awesome. Because last year on my birthday there was a thing.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. What that guy?
The fuck. So yeah, let's talk about the possibilities. Let's theorize. We got nothing better to do. But I can tell you that Ian didn't say we're sorry you got a shitty cinematic. He just said we're happy.
Well, that's because
with it.
Ian doesn't apologize. He.
No, he has. He apologized
Holier than
for fucking demonology. Remember, he said we fucked up. It's bad, and we are sorry. It is bad.
And warlocks deserve it, so.
Hater. So, yeah, let's see the possibilities. But I wonder, like, I kind of want to pull apart some things. So I'm gonna deep dive, and I'm gonna do some investigating this week and try to see if I can make my reality a reality.
Okay.
I'm also gonna see what Taliesin's got cooking because he's pretty smart. I'm gonna see what's doing there. So before we, you are not gonna send me dick pics, but it would be really funny if you did. It would be a fantastic feat. Yeah, a shit show, obviously. Most things. Let's
send one to Rem right now, live on stream.
do it so that we could do a reaction video off his reaction video off someone else reacting to his reaction.
Reaction videos are in, guys. Let's do it.
No, reacting to the reaction of the reaction video is what's in. Nobody actually cares about the original reaction anymore. They care about 5 layers deep of reactions.
Okay, I'm waiting, Steven.
Let's talk about our weeks in WoW, which, Jim, if you're listening to this, I know you stole this for your Pokemon podcast, and I'm not even mad. Because I think
Jim, I love you.
I think it's a tradition that is nice that you took over into another game, and I respect that.
It's just weird that you don't have time for ours.
Yeah, it's just weird that you couldn't make
It's
time for ours, but you're over here being a Pokemon master. I thought it was cute, personally. At first, I was like, wow, that son of a bitch. And then I was like, he's carrying on a tradition. And I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so Rem, the hell did you do this week in World of Warcraft?
So the weeks in WoW, with you flying over the pond, has been very, very, very eventful.
Basically, you don't have to carry me and do anything, so you got to actually focus on your own shit. Like that shade, you son of a bitch.
So I've been waiting for PvP from Brew and Bell. By the by,
we gotta do
I'm
the
ready
things.
now.
No,
I am ready now.
we gotta do the
I told
things.
you.
So I did PvP on my priest and my paladin. I have both rank 2 conflict of strife on both of those guys now.
Wait, already?
Yep.
On your hunter, Rem,
On my
or
paladin.
your-
So I work to get conflict of strife on that. You just have to have 1,000 rating and fill the conquest.
I got
bar.
like a -2.
It's extremely easy. Slide in my DMs, I can help you out. And then I did mythics. I'm learning how to play Holy Paladin. Unfortunately, it is a lot of fun. But, it's just enjoying healing. I'm doing all the healing and killing stuff on the priest again. I'm back into Shadow as well. Did it for the raid a little bit.
Dude, you were
little bit-
slamming those
A
meters.
little bit of a swinging dick. I got top damage on the boss, and then yeah.
Listen, being the head fucking crane eater of the fucking crane eaters club is nothing to brag about.
Don't hate on my fucking crayons. They taste great. But no, I like actually being active in the game again with friends, guildies, and we've had a lot of new blood coming to the guild. They're kind of just kind of wandering around, so we'll see what goes down.
Speaking of which, we need DPS. We need DPS for raid. Please do not send me a PM and ask me how to join the guild if you do not raid. I need heroic raiders.
I mean, if you still want to join the guild, I mean that's cool.
Yeah,
so-
no, but I'm talking about like my specific needs for raid.
Oh.
I need raiders that raid. Heroic level raiders. I'm not looking for mythic level. Heroic's gonna be the best we're ever gonna get. But I need raiders. DPS, maybe random heals, but I know that Envy did mention that he would like to see healer paladin. Which is that what you're doing, Rem? Is that why you're doing the?
That wasn't the reason of, but I was just gonna be doing mythics, and unfortunately, it's a lot of fun. So we'll see.
But we need some good DPS that want to make a commitment to actually raid and show up for raid. I myself included struggle in that because I sometimes forget about raid. But I think we're condensing raid down to 1 day, but we're raiding for 4 hours instead of trying to make Mondays work. We also don't want to take up an entire weekend, which is why we've never moved the raid to like. There was a time when it was Fridays and it was terrible. So
That's crazy. Since I've been in Riders for like the past 5 years.
yeah, it's always been Sunday, Monday.
Sunday, Monday.
But Monday, Envy spends more time pulling his hair out because people aren't showing up, myself included. Mondays, I always fucking space
He
about
doesn't
raid.
have hair.
Well, nose hairs. So we need raiders. We need raiders that are interested. If you are a raider that is digging the vibe of raiding once a week because you don't have time to raid a million times a week, I just need you to be a raider who does mythic pluses and who is in charge of your own destiny in terms of making sure that you're geared, you're able and capable, and you're
I'm handy capable. They allow
you're
me
staying on
so-
top of your item level and you're doing things in between raids that you need to do to maintain what you need for raid. So if you are lonely and you don't have a raid team and you need one, we have one. So send us a, send dick pics to Rem, not to me.
I'll open up my DMs on Twitter.
At Envy or at me or at anyone really.
Not me.
PM, fucking send a carrier pigeon.
Not me either. I
Like
don't-
travel by whale. I don't pay for server transfers before anybody asks me.
That's a touchy subject.
If you want to raid, you'll transfer your own. It's not breaking the bank to server transfer. But You don't really need to server transfer if you just want to test it out and see if it's something you're interested in. That's the
Oh,
purpose.
we actually have a British person in the guild, Madeline.
Well, just because you're British doesn't mean you can't. You're not even British. You're Welsh, aren't you? Isn't like don't
Oh
you-
yeah, that's a touchy subject too, isn't it?
I thought
You
they
get
think
slapped for-
maybe
yeah.
you're just British and you live in Wales.
Welshland. Do
Um,
they have Welch's grape juice there too?
yeah, she's Welsh. By the way, so unofficially, before we get to Brews Week and WoW, I loved London, and it was really the song of my people. I know so much of the history.
Well,
that,
I mean, because you love Tudors and that other
like,
show, so that makes sense.
so fucking good. But I enjoyed the vibe in Cardiff when I was there. It's a whole different scene, going from one to the other, but it's kind of more my jam, more edgy, a lot more people with tattoos, less proper all the time. Wicked good fish and chips, by the way. But and I had some amazing ciders that Rem would appreciate. I'm actually going to go get one. I'm going to see if the husband will go to Bevmo and get one of the ciders that I had. That anyway. So
Oh yeah. It's a
Brew,
pillow, yeah.
what did you do for your week in World of Warcraft?
At least for this previous week, I got my Paladin's Cape caught up, or as caught up as I could. Getting rank 9 tonight, I think.
But you're
And
you're
then-
rating on your Demon Hunter though, right?
No.
Or no, you
my-
rate
my-
your Paladin's your main, right?
No. My main is my monk. I
For
was
tanking?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Brewmaster.
guess I knew that. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. I've been maining Brewmaster now. My Brewmaster, I got rank 10 on Tuesday. As soon as I got home from work, I went and got my cape maxed out just because I had vessels sitting over from last week.
I need to get on that.
I've been working on new routes, trying to start timing 10 keys. I got a 10 workshop done in time this week. Iconic, we got down. We one-shot Elganoth. I think we 2 or 3 shot Rod N, and then we one-shot Carapace and got some pulls on his off.
Is this normal or
Nice.
heroic?
Normal.
Oh, nice. I think we're 10 of 12, maybe 11. Of 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 2 of something for heroic? Question mark.
One
One.
of 12.
Oh, I don't fucking know. I wasn't there. Was not.
Yeah.
Time was not.
Yeah, you're having second breakfast and tea time.
No, I was passed the fuck out, snoring, mouth open.
No, I meant like it's you and. Okay.
That was bad.
For those who don't know, I'm also the reason I said don't DM me for riders is I'm the recruitment officer for Iconic, and I was getting caught up on like new member interviews and new raider interviews and making sure that was all taken care of because I was a little behind on that going into 8.3. So getting caught up on that feels really good.
Does it though?
Yeah.
Does it though?
I was trying to be sarcastic, but it feels like I missed the mark there.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was a little embarrassing, right? Yeah, it's good that you're. Brew's gonna focus on his raid team. He's being pulled in different directions with doing 2 raid teams and all that kind of thing. So, but the good news is, like, we have a lot of downtime. No, I'm not streaming classic anything, though.
I do.
No, I'm not fucking streaming classic. Who wants to fucking watch a classic stream? That's like watching a fucking movie that's at the silent theater in black and white with no sound.
Actually sounds cool.
Actually, that was like the best episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Rem, did you see my Snapchat while I was out of the country?
I saw a couple of them. I tried texting you.
Did
and then
you
it was just
see
like, no.
the horse poop one?
Yeah.
Because I figured that one, you probably laughed because it was just a big ass pile of horse shit, and I put, oh shit. my my daughter, she snapped me and was like, I've been laughing for 10 minutes. I was like, Rem would have appreciated this. But when
Shit happens.
when I walked past it, I physically said, oh shit, which is what made it even funnier. But I was by myself because I didn't have friends, so.
I only saw what you put on your public story because we're not friends on Snapchat. I just follow you.
I don't even know how to use Snapchat half the time. I had to learn how to block someone, and my daughter said to teach me because I was blocking my sister because fuck her. And I was like, how do you do the things? Because I don't know how. I don't know how to remove. I don't know how to. I thought when people followed you, they were my friend. I don't know what that means. So I'm going to have my children help me.
I know the very, very basics of Snapchat. I don't use it often.
They changed it so much that I don't really know how to view stories. I do in theory, but it's a lot of work now where it didn't used to be. It's not really intuitive anymore, so...
If they're your friends, I think it's easy. But other than that,
Easy
if you're not
according
a
to
friend
who?
or following, I don't fucking know how to use it.
Yeah, I'm learning the internets.
The internet.
Yeah, I really hate my sister. Mostly because she's a very bitter and ugly individual. And if flogging was legal, it would have already happened. There's that. Swear I'm not bitter. So for my week in WoW started today. Because I unfortunately found out that I was misled, and I did think I was going to see some of the best internet in the world going to Europe, and I was lied to because it was literally like fucking potato internet, or like a little teeny tiny hamster with the world's shortest legs fucking running all he could to power all the world's internets. The internet was awful.
All run off a Raspberry Pi.
Like, it was just the worst internet ever. Europe, you need to get your fucking shit together, and I need you to get on my level of internet.
Which is weird because when you look at like the averages of all the countries, it shows like the United States like in like the bottom 20.
Maybe it's
but
because I didn't have a residence and didn't have like direct connection, but I
guess- I don't know.
I did have what I was told was like superior fast Wi-Fi when I stayed at the Conrad, and it had plug-in connection, and it just was literally
sad.
like, it was like a turtle humping shoe.
That fucking video. You didn't unmute yourself.
Oh.
Today I didn't mute.
Ripperino.
Did I?
You muted it, but you didn't like
Mother effer.
unmute it.
I did start my to-do list of things that I need to get done. I have a whole list of shit I'm behind in. So
I am proud of you though. You hopped on today and you immediately went into a mythic. I was like, whoa, I didn't expect you to actually go.
Well, I needed to do the ranks are what I'm focused on for my essences, because I feel like that we'll be able to use them a fair amount up until they shut them off. So I feel like I would be remiss to not use this downtime. Like,
At
we're
least, yeah,
raiding and
get,
I
like,
need it
yeah.
for raid, but I really feel like I should take advantage of it and have like everything the best of the best. There's no excuse at this point. It's really just making the effort to do it. So, and imagine I actually had to read to figure out which essences were worth ranking up, and I had to do research and theories and fucking pyologies and.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed or if you've checked, but Thugonomics is the top rated person ever in Cheese right now.
Well, it's Thugonomics. He's on a whole other level. Always was.
But still,
I don't know why he
so-
doesn't win tournaments, but he's next level. Always has been. He's one of those people that he's like, you
Doesn't
know,
play well with others, maybe.
he understands the game on a one would say spiritual level, really. He's just, I don't know, he's just one of the greats. Goes along with Snuts and shit like that. Like, I'd like to see Thug get a recent win. Kids these days don't even know who Thugonomics is, and it's really annoying. It's sad. Yeah, we do need to PvP because I need to get that. Which one is it?
Conflict and Strife.
I don't know.
Blood of the Enemy.
I'm just.
Blood of the Enemy is going to be good for you for DPS as well.
Well, Shades told me what I needed.
Fucking. You're just like Belle. Goddamn.
What'd I do? Who's
You
just...
haven't asked me.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to be asked.
I have.
Like, when you're doing it, like, hey, jump in, we're gonna do PvP.
Alright, fine. I'd be like, hey, we're doing this right now.
Listen, I'm not responsible for conveying to you. I'm not the fucking middleman here. You both are grown adults. You both have cell phones, right?
Debatable.
Fucking... Guys, next week I will have more Week in WoW that will consist of more than I logged in and managed my auctions. He conveys everything to me. Next episode, which should be I think it's the 20... So the 29th, Winstead from Technically PvP is going to be a guest, and that's always a jolly good
cool.
time. He's one of my favorite people. He did do
He's
Brews.
good. He's cool people.
He did do Brews intro soundbite. The only reason it's not integrated yet is because I don't have a cartoon.
Well, and you just kind of got back, so.
But he does have one now. I haven't let him hear it. I like to let that be a surprise on the show. But with him being on, we're probably not going to talk about anything serious whatsoever because it's Winstead and he takes the show in whatever direction is his fancy. So, and we ride that lightning because it's good TV and it's good
and it's a good
entertainment.
song too.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, he is the one that does our intro. And he's awesome. Like, he's just a good person in general. Like, I love him and his wife. And his boy, who always makes an appearance on the show, is hysterical. Because he's just so cute. But, I was going somewhere with this and I just... I don't know. I don't know, but I know it was going to be entertaining, and now I just lost it, and now there's no entertainment value. Guys, if you are listening to this episode and going, what the fuck was she going on about? I'm just really tired. So, with that being said, we've had a lot of good theories. We've had a lot of good technical issues. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for still giving a fuck.
Thank you for being you.
No.
Not even sarcastically. Thank you guys.
Some of you shouldn't be you.
Thank you for your patience.
If I go to Twitter after
We have many
this has been on YouTube and audio, and I see somebody starting shit because of the things I said this episode that were valid, we're going to fight. And I don't mean like...
And it's happened before, so we'll see.
And I don't mean I'm going to call you names on Twitter. I mean, we are going to fist fight. Because sometimes...
And I will be the ref, and I will not judge fairly.
Right.
What are you talking about? You don't even need to judge. Sam, I mean, I don't know who Sam is, but Belle would.
But I think it's okay for me to have an opinion and it be just that. Belle just had an opinion.
Yeah, opinions are bad nowadays.
That dude was like fucking Roman Pierce. Belle had an opinion. It's cool.
Hey, and if they start shit, I will double down on what you said and say worse shit.
Maddie. That's actually really good. Maddie, my initial cringes were for Rich Campbell, by the way. Because you asked. I did not say it publicly because I was trying to be low-key, but just fucking gross. Like, stick your dick in a blender gross. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so.
I felt that one. Oh my god.
It's not even that he tries so hard. It's just, it's to the point where it isn't entertaining to me at all. It like, I literally physically cringe. Because it's not even funny anymore. It used to be entertaining, but now it's just fucking take a shower and get a girlfriend. Anyway.
So,
I mean, he can't go by any schools, so he's got that going for him.
It's funny that you said that, Maddie, because that's a conversation. That's a conversation that my husband and I had many times during the stream. Is he just sucks all the life force and fun for himself. He's like a succubus.
Oh,
So I
he's
love-
Darth Nihilus from KOTOR 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love
He's
when
a
it's,
wound in the
Race
Force.
War the first time, because I get to have it on all the time, especially when the girlfriend and I eat dinner, because she gets to look at SCO. But like as soon as he comes on, like she just cringes and she's like, "Can you just turn it to SCO stream, please, and not watch this?"
Yeah, I generally
Even
mute.
S-Bond.
He does say funny things. I won't lie. And sometimes he cracks me the fuck up. But anyway. Not everybody can be a preach, right?
That's what's funny. He bugs me.
But he doesn't even try, and he fucking cracks me up.
And if I could get like Preach and Tettles casting the same thing, that would be amazing.
They did. Well, I don't think they were ever partners.
No, I meant like partners.
I think it always worked out to where, like, it was usually Preach with, I don't know, the
Bay.
hours or what. Yeah, it was probably Bay. I do need more cowbell for those caster streams. So I do like... Who's the young kid? I can't remember his name. The young blonde. He looks like he's 12. Somebody help me
is
out.
he a raider?
No, he's a caster.
Oh.
He looks like he's 12.
Oh my god, I'm picturing him. And I can't think
For the
of who
life
he
of
is.
me, I can't. The fuck is his name? He's the blonde, and he's the skinny blonde, and oh, not sorry. Who is that? Who? I don't think so.
He wasn't a caster raid. He was the raid lead for Midwinter for Turkey.
No,
he was the only blonde that
he
was on there, though.
He was on the couch for several hours each stream, doing caster stuff.
The only blonde
Maybe it
one
was.
Turkey.
Maybe it was. Martin Creek is who I'm thinking of. Martin Creek's who I'm thinking of. Thank you. I knew somebody would know who the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, Martin. I do know who Turkey is, but no, definitely not Rich Campbell.
I want to know who did the voice to like the ads, and just like I need like voice clips of just like the cozy.
So I want to tell you that I didn't get it, and didn't get it. I have been to Europe and I get it.
Cozy.
I need to actually explain it to my husband. Cozy is a thing, and I did not understand it being American. It didn't occur to me until it's actually in several ads in Europe. The particular phrase. Anyway, but it is a
But
thing.
I don't get it. Is it you feel cozy, right? Because of the fire?
Yes. But the fact that Jamie was actually able to make it like a thing is pretty good. Pleb, I mean. I used a slave name. She just told me the charge was complete. I think that was it. It's derailing very quickly. Yeah. So, I expect to be very angered on Twitter. I'm sure somebody is going to make a big deal. And,
Won't be the first time.
I'm excited. I haven't had a good real beef in a while. Since
Stir the
Asmongold.
pot.
I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Since Asmongold, really. But I'm not wrong, so it's gonna
Right,
be,
didn't
it's
he
gonna
end up
be
blocking
really
you,
hard
Marco?
for people to be angry about the things that I said because I'm not wrong.
That's being cozy. Like that's
But it's a thing though. Like it didn't make sense to me because I've never walked around saying
you don't like to be
cozy, but it's not part of my. I live in the hottest fucking state in the country.
I mean, yeah,
There isn't
sucks.
wrapping up with a
I mean,
warm
hey,
blanket.
I mean, in our defense, it's been a nice winter, so.
Yeah, I'm warm and content, fucking sunburning on my back porch. Like there isn't cozy.
Oh, that
here.
one time when the one side of you was sunburned.
But it's really
Oh,
cold.
man.
When it's cold as fuck. That shit was like fucking
Yeah.
4 degrees.
How cold are we talking here?
I made some truth comments, Maddie. I will put it on YouTube tonight, so it'll be up in the morning. But there was some truths that happened. Guys, And we're going to get the fuck on out of here because I'm tired. So, thank you for following. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for all that you do.
You got friend.
That's really weird. Like, what if you really sang that?
Okay, so this fuck, marry, kill. Fuck Rich Campbell, marry Rem, and kill Asmongold. Like, that's not even a question. Like, I didn't even have to think about that.
Well, so I would definitely have to kill Rich Campbell, though. Like, I would say, you know, that's a toughie, honestly. Can you kill both? Do you have to have one of each? Can you just kill two people?
Can it be like a murder-suicide?
Right!
Can I just off myself and just skip the game?
Yeah, can I get a... Can I kill all three of them? Is that a thing?
Wow. No, can I like just like in this order, like marry Rem, kill Asmongold, and then like murder suicide Rich Campbell?
You could put a brown paper bag over Rich Campbell
Death
and
by
kind
Space,
of... You can, you know... You might... If you could gag him, you might be alright. If you could just get him to not talk or, like, move.
Twitch chat is surprised I answered this.
But... Oh, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. You can't come in here and play Overwatch. Oh. Win-win. Why wouldn't we answer it, though?
God, you're such a bully.
How am I a bully? But I'm saying, like... But in his case, I think you would need two paper bags, though. One in case the other one falls off. You need to really have a backup. Because if you get caught seeing that face, it's game over. You really need to... And maybe duct tape it. Like...
He kept talking about stalkers, and I want to know who's stalking him. Because I feel sorry for the stalker.
I don't believe anybody is stalking them. Okay, here's my theory. You know how I've made this comment about these girls that post on Twitter about how they were catcalled? And then I go check on their profile to look at pictures they posted of themselves to see if, in fact, because I have never been catcalled, ever. And I'm fairly good looking most of the time, unless it's first thing in the morning. But my theory is, like, the people that post about these being catcalled, what do I tell people? Like, nah, bitch, you weren't catcalled, you were barked at. Like, you're getting the two confused. I don't feel like anybody is stalking him. There is no cute to be had there.
I can bark that.
No, but like, have you ever looked at when the people that post these big loud things about how they're like stalked or like all these dudes sliding into their DMs, and then you look at their pictures, and yes, I'm being very judgmental, but I'm being realistic, guys. Like,
Hey, no one barks or catcalls me. Feels bad, man.
no, it's not even a cat call. It's legit like a bark.
That's what I'm saying. No barks at me either.
I'm just working on my cool Tyrion bod in IRL.
Well, those are in these days, by the way. Big is beautiful, just so we're clear. Like, the thicker the better.
Dad bod is in, man.
Well, dad bod is a big deal these days, to be perfectly honest.
So ironically enough, like that actually started at my girlfriend's college. It started at WVU. Like they're the ones who actually like made it a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I really think it's important to that dad bods are in. I don't want a dad bod personally, but I'm just saying.
I love my dad bod.
We're so fluffy and
I own that shit.
cuddly.
Envy should be back. He just needed he's got a lot going on, and he really
That shit's on his rug.
And now he's got a new pug, right? He's got a new baby pug that probably equally shits on his rug. What's the baby pug's name? Greta? Greta.
Oh, Steven, why? That's not.
Greta! Guys, I'm ending. We're out of here. I love you
Greta
all.
Van Fleet, yeah. That's a
Greta
song.
Van Fleet?
That's what the dog is named after.
Sometimes you shouldn't know things. He just said bye-ho to me. Alrighty
Bye,
then.
Felicia.
He
More
literally
cushion
just
for the
bye-hoed
cushion,
me.
that
Guys,
is right.
I'm actually hitting the stop button. Thank you for putting up with our shenanigans today.
But you'll still hear us for a little bit.
Remember, the next
Did you hit
episode...
stop? God dang.
Next episode is the 29th. I'm really stopping, I promise.
Okay, are we? Does it stop?
No, but I really am hitting the stop button. Guys,
we
we're
there
leaving
yet?
for real. No, you
Is it
hang
like
up.
the
No,
video's off?
you hang up. No, you hang up. Yeah, the video's been off. We're really leaving, guys. We love you. Bye.